The mystery of the missing watch. In the busy streets of London East, there was a quiet building on a small corner street. It didn't look important, but inside that building, in a tiny office filled with books, maps, and old cases, works a man named Max Stone. He wasn't famous. He didn't wear a hat or smoke a pipe, but he was a real detective. And in his neighborhood, everyone knew if something is missing or something is wrong, ask Max. A visitor in the rain. One cold, rainy morning, a girl rushed through Max's door. She was no older than 16. Her coat was soaked, her hair stuck to her face, and she held a small envelope. Are you Mr. Stone? She asked, breathing hard. Yes, Max said, calmly standing. You look worried. Please, sit down. My name is Emily Black, she said, and I need help. She opened the envelope and took out a photo. A man in a police uniform, smiling proudly and holding a gold pocket watch. This is my father, she said. That watch is missing. A special watch. Emily explained. Her father, James Black, had worked as a police officer for over 30 years. When he retired, the city gave him a special gift, a gold watch with his name engraved inside. It was his treasure. He never took it off. But last Thursday, someone broke into their home. There was no damage. Nothing else was taken. Only the gold watch was missing. And the next day, Mr. Black collapsed at home. Now he was in the hospital, alive, but too weak to speak much. He kept saying the same thing. Find the watch, before it's too late. Max gets curious. Max wrote in his notebook. He always started with questions. Who lives with you? He asks. My stepmother, Rose. They married 2 years ago, Emily said. She was kind at first, but something changed. Max nodded. Anyone else? Our gardener, Paul, comes a few times a week. He has worked with us for years. Max stood, put on his coat, and grabbed his umbrella. I would like to see the house, he said. The Black family house. Emily led Max through the streets to a quiet, upper-class neighborhood. Their house was big but old, with ivy growing on the walls and tall rose bushes in the garden. They entered through the front door. Everything inside was clean, quiet, and strangely cold. Max first examined Mr. Black's bedroom. There was no sign of forced entry. The window was locked, but the small drawer where the watch was kept was open. The thief knew exactly where to look. Max muttered. He noticed something strange. A glass of water sat untouched on the table, and beside the drawer was a long golden hair. Max raised an eyebrow. Emily, does your stepmother have golden hair? Yes, she said. Very light. She dyes it. The stepmother. They found Rose sitting in the living room, wearing red lipstick and holding a teacup. Oh, Emily, she said in a flat voice. You didn't tell me we had company. This is Mr. Stone, Emily said. He is helping us. Max smiled politely. Mrs. Black, when did you last see your husband's watch? She sipped her tea. Thursday night. He had it on before bed. After that, I was asleep. Did you hear anything unusual? No, she said. I sleep very deeply. Max looked at her hands. Her nails were perfect. but her fingers had thin scratches. "Do you do any work in the garden?" She blinks. "Me? No, that's Paul's job." The gardener. Out back, Max found Paul, the gardener, trimming hedges. "Paul," Max asks, "were you here Thursday night?" Paul nodded. "Yes, there was rain coming. I stayed late to cover the greenhouse." "Did you come inside the house?" "Only to use the downstairs bathroom," he said. "Did you see Mr. Black?" "No, sir. He was already in bed." Max studied Paul's muddy boots. There were no fresh footprints around the back door, and yet, inside, the floor had wet drops. "Something doesn't add up," Max whispered. A clue in the garden. Max walked through the rose bushes. He paused. Something was glinting in the dirt. He bent down and picked it up. A small piece of gold chain, part of a watch strap. Bent, scratched, freshly broken. "Not buried," Max said. "Dropped recently." He took it inside, putting the puzzle together. That night, Max sat in his office. He laid out the clues. No forced entry. The drawer was opened carefully. Rose climbed to sleep deeply, but had scratches from the roses. A hair was found near the drawer, wet drops on the floor, but Poole didn't enter that area. The gold piece found in the garden. Mr. Black collapsed and only said, "Find the watch." Max drew a line from each clue. "Someone inside the house took it," he said, and tried to hide it. Then he looked again at the photo of Mr. Black. He noticed something strange. Mr. Black wore the watch on his right wrist, but the drawer was on the left side of the bed. He had to take it off with his left hand. But what if someone else took it off instead? The confrontation. The next morning, Max returned to the Black home. He asked everyone to come into the living room. He held up the broken gold chain. "This," he said, "was found outside, in the rose bushes." He turned to Rose. "Mrs. Black, you said you were asleep, but your hands tell a different story." Rose stared at him. "You knew your husband's routine. You knew where he keeps the watch. You went to take it, maybe to sell it. But he woke up." Rose opened her mouth to speak, but Max continued. "He didn't fight you. He was just surprised, shocked, and that shock made him collapse." Emily gasped. Rose dropped her teacup. It shattered on the floor. "You don't understand," she cried. "We were in debt. I needed the money. I didn't mean to hurt him." The secret inside the watch. That evening, Max and Emily went to the hospital. Mr. Black was awake now, sitting up weakly. Max placed the gold chain into his hand. His eyes filled with tears. "You found it," he whispered. Emily sat by his bed. "Why is it so important?" she asked. Mr. Black pointed to a hidden button on the watch face. Max pressed it gently. The back of the watch opened. Inside was a tiny chip and a folded paper. Max read the notes. It was a code. "It's a case he never solved," Emily said. "A secret only he knew." Max nodded. "Then maybe it's time to finish it." A new beginning. In the weeks that followed, Rose was taken into custody. She confessed everything. Mr. Black slowly recovered, and Emily started learning about detective work from Max. She took notes, asked questions, even helped solve her first small case, a missing cat. Max smiled. "You have got the eyes of a detective," he said. Emily grinned, like father, like daughter. The end, or a new chapter. From that day on, people said there were two detectives in London East, one old, one young, both smart, both curious, both watching every little detail, because in this city, not all time is measured by clocks, and some watches don't just tell time, they tell the truth.